Hello, good morning, everybody. I am your teacher once again for MIL or Media and Information Literacy. Today, we are going to start our discussion with lesson 1 in chapter 1. Okay, and right before we go and know some concepts and ideas that we need to know, first, we are going to have an activity in which this requires you to provide your ideas and your knowledge about the different concepts in communication. So, here it goes. Today, we're also going to tackle about the lesson 1. So, right before we discuss lesson 1, we're going to have we're going to read first the objectives of our lesson. Okay. Right after this discussion, you should be able to describe the nature of communication and the concepts related to it, which I know you have learned already in your oral communication way back when you were in grade 11. Um, I know nga gintudlo na gini sa mga teachers nyo, and I hope that you still have ideas and knowledge about it. Create a communication scenario that is affected by media and information. So how do we do this? Creating a scenario. Okay, so all you need to do is to think of a situation or a scenario that you can actually uh, show or portray that media and information are affecting the way you live, the way you communicate with other people. Next, number 3, identify the similarities and differences in media literacy, information literacy, and technology literacy. So we're going also to define here on this lesson the similarities in mga pagkakapare-pareho and the differences in media literacy, information literacy, and technology literacy. And then number 4, we're going also to identify the characteristics of responsible users and competent users of media and information. So as what I've told you in the introduction before, there are different dangers, kumbaga, when it comes to the use of communication and media to spread out information. So in this lesson, we're going to learn how to be a responsible individual or how to be a responsible citizen when it comes to the use of information and media. So now we're going to proceed to the discussion first of the different parts of our module. Okay, so the first one, every time you open your module, the first one that you're going to see is this one, activating prior knowledge. What do you mean by activating prior knowledge? It just simply means that it is an introduction, do pang introduce pa lang pala sang subject class, okay? Dira pa lang nimo dira pa lang do kumbaga ang warm up activities ginahatag para at least maka-learn ikaw kag para ma-introduce ikaw amat-amat pakadto dito sa aton nga lesson gid nga sa lesson proper ta gid, okay? So on this one, first we're going to have activating prior knowledge. Then right after prior knowledge, we're gonna have acquiring new knowledge. In this one naman class, you're going to learn na the different concepts and ideas or it is already the lesson proper. So diri na kamo na class diri na kita matuon gid or ma-discuss about kung ano gid ang ubrahon. Okay? Today, we're going to have a discussion of our new lesson of this brand new lesson, ang una-una gid nga lesson. So we're gonna open this later. Okay, so before that, i-explain ko ano yung applying new knowledge. What is applying new knowledge? Mag-applying new knowledge ka naman, class. Kumbaga, this is a practice for this one, for this upcoming assessing new knowledge or sa assessment. Magkamba kita applying new knowledge, class. These are this is an application already. Do kina-apply mo na bala on your own use or sa isa ka situation, sa other situation pagid ang natun-an mo nga concept coming from the acquire from this part, from this acquiring new knowledge nga part. Okay? Then right after that, you're going to now, and just to tell you gali, ang applying new knowledge class, it's do gina-answeran gina siya, do quiz type or assignment type. However, not all the time ihatag ko ini ang applying new knowledge nga new knowledge nga recorded or graded, I mean. Okay? So ihatag ko lang ni sometimes nga recorded pero hindi siya graded. So amo nang ang applying new knowledge. So mahambal lang ako, ma-announce lang ako sa inyo kung ano gid ang purpose ko sang aton nga applying nga part. So for today, ihambal ko na lang nga daan, this is only recorded. This will not be graded. Pero dapat ubrahon nyo gid because this is part of your attendance. Next, assessing new knowledge. Sa assessing new knowledge sa class, always remember that this is always recorded and graded. Okay? So, graded, gini sa always class. So, i-record ko gini siya. So, this will be one of the components of your grade. So, ari, gini saya sa assessing new knowledge. Then, all of these things ay dapat na i-discuss tagid within this week or matakol tagid subong nga simana. So, taga isa ka lesson class, isa ka simana kita. Amo kita sina mag-ano. Or may mga lesson man nga tigduwagid ka simana kay medyo lawig. Okay? Pero most of the time, isa lang gid kasi manay class. So today, as the start of the week, as our first meeting of the week sa subject nga MIL or Media and Information Literacy, we're going to finish this one, activating prior knowledge, acquiring new knowledge, and applying new knowledge. So, tanan na class, tapuson ta. Then, sir, sir, ang ginatawag ta nga assessing new knowledge. Okay? So, you are going to answer or you're going to take the quiz regarding this lesson on Thursday. Sa Webes, kita yung class ma-exam or ma-quiz. Then, it must be done right away. Okay? Kaya hindi ko na this is a quiz kasi kaya may time limit siya and everything. So, kinahanglan mapasa nyo. Okay? Now, let's go first to activating prior knowledge. I-open ko siya klasa para mabalaan ta kung ano ang instruction. So, you will only be given one attempt. Okay? One attempt lang. Ika-isa lang kamo answeran. Then, what are you going to do? Because, as what I've said, this is just an introduction to our lesson. Okay? The warm-up activity lang siya para makahatag lang sa inyo sang idea of the things nga i-expect nyo for this lesson. So, ano ni siya? Ang activity nga ni. Ang direction niya, it's kumbaga familiarization. Ari siya class, familiarization. So, kumbaga, it's a familiarization. Then, ang direction niya, okay, ang instruction, without using a dictionary, wala ko kamo gina-require nga dictionary, kaya wala ko gina-require class, ang daw nami gid nga definition, I just want a definition that will just come from you. That will just come from you, on your own words, on your own idea, coming from your brain, coming from your mind. Okay? So, without using the dictionary, define the following words in one complete sentence. So, in this quiz, mahatag, kung i-attempt nyo na siya, mahatag na isa ka word, then i-define mo na siya in one complete sentence. Again, pila ka sentencer para mag-i-tsakto ako? Isa lang. Isa lang ang kinahanglan. Dapat complete sentence inang ga-end gid sa period. Nakuha? So, amuin na class ang aton nga ubrahon subong nga aga. Okay? And subong nga hapon man later or subong nga adlaw amo nang una-una tagid ubrahon. Okay? Amo nang una-una tagid nga ubrahon anay ang activating prior knowledge. And how many minutes will I give you for this quiz? I will only give you 10 minutes. 10 minutes, ha? Pulo lang ka minutos para ansiran ang activating prior knowledge because this is a quiz. Okay? However, as what I've said, this will not be recorded This will not be graded, pero ipang record ko lang inyo nga score. So I hope makuha gid kamo because this is an activity. Okay? Ay hapos man lang na siya because isubmit mo lang na siya dayon ng imong answer. Then you're done already. Okay? Do not forget to click finish review para mabaton ko. Okay? Next. So after so amo nang obrahon nyo, una-una gid anay subong nga adlaw sa subject ko. Okay? Is that alright? So amo ginaanay ang obrahon. So class, I hope that you really watched the video because at some point of it or the whole part of it actually described or defined what could be the origin of communication, okay? Or what is communication all about and how it affects all the members of the society when it is being used. Okay? I hope you have seen that and you have observed that. Ina ba lang nakita nyo dito ang from just one simple nga bagay nga nakita sang isa ka tawo, then nagkalat siya nga nagkalat and everything. And that is how also communication works among the members of the society. You know, isa lang your words could actually be transferred to another person. Okay? And that another person could actually receive the words nga ginambal mo, and then right after receiving that word, basi pwede niya man ma-share sa iban. Okay? So in that end nagdugang ang iya nga idea. Okay? Basi ang ginambal mo is wala iya panabalan before mo ginhambal. So right after sa paghambal mo sang any words, okay, nga ginhambal mo man or any statement, nakatuon siya. Okay? Nadagdag na naman sa knowledge or idea niya. Okay? And then because of it, ara na sa iya nga huna-huna, and he can now use it to different or various occasions or different situations. So amo na class ka powerful ang communication. Okay?
So once again, good morning everyone, or good day everyone. As what you can see, I have changed attire because I have I basically filmed the previous part of the video last night. Today I am shooting it and I am filming this one with my dress like this again. Okay, so it's because I needed to continue it here. There is a eskwelahan. Okay, now we are going to proceed with our discussion. Okay, and as what you've heard, after you are done with your activating part, okay, now we are going to proceed with the acquiring part, in which I explained already sa may acquiring na part, diri ka mo matuon gid sa bagong nga knowledge, ideas, and concepts. Okay? So now we are going to discuss what we need to discuss in the um, acquire part. So class, as what you can see, um, we have here the definition of communication. Okay. First, before we do um, some things, okay, first before we go to the main topic or the lessons that we have to learn here on this subject, we are going first to define what really is communication, its origin, and how does it affect people who try to use it as a tool for them to share information. Okay, so we are going to define communication first. So the first part of the acquiring part is defining communication. Okay, so let's define what is communication. Many explicit and implicit definitions of communication have been published in related literature for use by scholars and practitioners trying to describe, predict, and understand communicative phenomena. So as what you've heard, I'll just explain it. There are a lot of definitions of communication class, right? May ara nga mga definition na nga in the dictionary. You can actually get the definition of communication from the dictionary, and then it is also defined by many people who have been studying communication again, and in its roots and its essence or its entire definition. And many of it na mga researchers, mga tao nga mga scholarly, okay, they are trying to really study about communication. Okay? They want to describe, predict, and understand communicative phenomena. These definitions shift around the basic definitions. So when there is already a definition class, okay, there is already a known definition of communication. The tendency would be other people, as time goes by, would try to add up to the information gid kung ano gid balang information ang communication. Okay, they try to evolve the meaning of communication because as time goes by, communication in its essence really change. Okay, it changes with the overtime class. When before, when we can only define communication before as verbal and non-verbal, today we can actually define communication already um, as a tool, okay, for us to spread information over an online platform, okay, or using internet, right? Next, with varieties relying upon individual academic interest in general insightful patterns. So basically, communication could actually be, it can be used uh, usually in the school, right? In the academe nga setup, sa academy nga setup, sa ato nga setup, okay? We are trying to share information with one another, okay? By because of the context of education, and education is an academe, okay? Part of academy. Next, however, to basically define the word, let us look at its origin first. Communication is from the Latin term communicare, okay? Latin term, which means to share or to divide out, okay? It could actually mean to share or to divide out. And as what you can say, as what the idea you have there in your mind, uh, communication could actually be a platform or a tool for you to share information, right? Because you cannot you cannot engage in a communicative situation or process if you are not going to share whatever you have been thinking or whatever is in your mind, okay? And communication is actually to divide out, okay, to divide out, to spread, okay. So whatever you spread there, just don't spread the legs, just spread the information, the insights, the emotions, the expressions that you have, that is already part of communication, and that is using communication. Also, it may be thought to originate from Latin word communis, which roughly means working together. Okay, so it could actually be, actually come from man sa may Latin word pagid nga communist, which means working together, right? Because it's a fact that if we communicate with one another, communication can take if we communicate with one another, okay. Um, we could work together. There could be unity, right? If we just try to listen to one another and what we have to say and what others would have to say, then we could actually promote unity or working together. Okay, next, whether it is through verbal or non-verbal, as what I've said before, gina-define ta na ang communication like verbal and non-verbal, okay? Pero subong, ang communication niya class is already um, defined as hindi lang gid siya verbal or non-verbal, but it could actually be digital na, okay? And in whatever form we try to convey communication or use communication, um, it is always a fact that humans are creatures of expression. I think nasak up ako camera. Just bear with it. Okay? Next. That is so by necessity and desire. What do I mean by necessity? By necessity and desire. Sometimes we speak because we need to speak, right? And sometimes we just speak because we want to speak, and that's desire. Example sa necessity, because we are in need really to speak. Kinanglan tagi mag-speak when we try to be, when our teacher, in the context of school, when our teacher calls out our name and we need to answer, so we need to speak because someone is trying to get information coming from us. And what if naman if it's by desire? Okay, so if he asks a question, a teacher asks a question, and when you try to raise your hand and you need to, and you wanted to talk, so you just talk. Okay, it's out of your desire. It's your want. It's your wants for you to speak. Okay, wants mo na iya nga maghambal. And amo nang ihambal mo sa teacher because you voluntarily nga nag-raise ang hand mo to speak. So in that manner, it's just a desire. Next, people communicate to be more closely integrated with into the society they belong. And have you noticed, class, those people who do not really open up themselves or they share their struggles or whatever they feel, okay? They have a hard time, di ba? Nga mag-cope or makisama sa iban because gani hindi sila kabala mag-open up. So, as much as possible, class, use communication as a tool for you to express yourself because as as kung hindi mo kung ginatago mo lang bala imo nga self, okay, kung ginatago mo lang imo nga nabatyagan, it could actually accumulate there, okay, dira lang nada, and then at some point masabog ka and everything. So basi hindi na mag-take place ang successful nga communication because daw natipon na tanan mo nga kaugot, tanan mo nga aras sa ginaisip mo, ginakimkim mo lang, and you did not actually express it out. So in that manner, when you try na kung na-reach mo ng limit mo, kung nag-try ka na mag-open up, base hindi na maging successful ang communication because there is already an outrage. There is already other factors that could affect the way you express yourself. Next, you communicate because expressing yourself means contributing ideas, right? So this actually means this basically means na kung mag-express ka sa self mo, you try to contribute ideas, okay? And there is no wrong in trying to say your idea because sometimes gani ang iban na tao, they are scared of um, what they have to say, and in because they're scared of what they have to say, um, gaano sila class, ga may inhibition sila maghambal. Okay, so kung ano man ilangan na batyagan. So that is not how we try to communicate. And may ara naman yung mga tao naman yung class na daw over man mag-contribute ng ideas to the point na you could actually be labeled as someone nga daw tikalo na malakas and boastful and ma-pride because you try to over-exaggerate your ideas or you try to over-contribute your ideas. Just speak what you need to speak. Okay? Limit yourself to the topic at hand nga gina-istoryahan ninyo. Okay? Next, for whatever purpose or cause, communication is successful when the intentions of the parties are met. Okay? So as what I've said, communications can actually be successful if two sides would agree at some point. They could actually meet at one point. If they could not meet at one point, there could be an argument. Okay? Alright? So kung may argument, aral na dahil mas tulad ng emotions. And we all know that if emotions are over generalized or it can be overplaced, mas dako mas dako kumbaga ang purpose ng mga emotions when you're trying to express your ideas. Dili andra class gasulod ang daw um, ang kaakig, ang argument, di ba? And ang iban nga party, ang isa ka side na sabat naman, and with the emotions na naman, okay? So kamo nag-conflict lang ka mga duwa. So that is not how we promote good communication. Okay? So we promote communication in a positive manner. In other class, we try to listen to each other's side kaya para hindi kita mag-create conflict kaya para ma-meet kita in the middle so that we are going to work things out together. Okay?